Time to move on. The black Toyota Eco pulled off the dusty main road, past a set of ornate iron gates and onto pristine driveway. The sound of gravel gave way to eerie silence, broken only by a music-like descending scale from the car's humming electric motors, shifting through patterns of pulsed energy as it slowed. The car slid smoothly into the parking lot. A small group of what could have been mistaken for dark-shelled tortoises awoke from a noontime nap and busied themselves sweeping the dusty tire tracks from the driveway. Both passenger doors opened with a gentle hiss. An old man unfolded from the left passenger seat, while from the other, his 10-year-old grandson bounded out and round to the other side. The boy helped the old man to his feet. He grunted as his stiff arthritic joints creaked and popped. Both made their way across the parking lot through the stifling heat toward the low glass-clad building. Despite the searing heat, the lawns to either side of the pavement were lush and green. The old man paused for a moment to admire the grass. A small smile crept across his face and added a handful of new wrinkles to those radiating from behind his mirrored glasses. Behind them, the car closed its doors and began to drink in the scorching noon sun.
"I'm glad you decided to come with me, Jimmy,"
the old man spoke with a voice as dry as paper. "I'm glad too, Grandpa. I know this is a special day for you." He looked up into the time-savaged face of his grandfather, made decrepit by the air that they breathed, the food they ate, and the almost unadulterated rays of the sun. Gone now were the times when the marvels of medicine could further prolong the life of the body. The toxins of the man-made world had since overtaken the best medical efforts. Now, to save the old from a slow disintegration, they had well, people didn't talk very much about these places. It took a very long time for people to become comfortable with what went on in there. The old man smiled again through the pain that racked his every waking moment. The boy had chosen to come with him on this final journey when he was just 8, and understood as well as an 8-year-old could what would become of his grandfather. "But I'm sad too, Grandpa. I'm so sad that life has to end. Why can't we all just live forever?"
"Well, it's just the way of life. This old body can't carry on anymore. It's tired, and it's just time for me to leave it behind."
"Will you be happy afterwards?" There was a tear in the boy's eye now.
"Of course I will be, Jimmy. You know that."
He stooped and wiped the tear from the boy's cheek. "Tell me one last story, Grandpa, from the old times. You've lived for so long." The old man began to tell his story as the two entered the coolness of the building. He paused the tale just once to confirm his details with the receptionist. His voice print identified. The sweetly smiling girl behind an expensive-looking desk turned to Jimmy. "And now, Jimmy, will you say your name and citizen number into the identifier, please?" Jimmy proudly recited his full name and 32-digit citizen number. "Good. Now please make your way to reception number 26. Your transition aide will call you when it's your time." The receptionist flashed a plastic, caring smile. "Have a peaceful transition." The old man had finished his tale by the time the pair had navigated the maze of corridors lined with small rooms punctuated by tastefully decorated waiting rooms. They entered reception 26 and took seats opposite an elderly gentleman sitting with another boy about Jimmy's age. Shortly afterwards, a particularly decrepit lady rounded the corner, assisted by her doting granddaughter. She helped the gasping woman to her seat, where she continued her labored breathing for some minutes. Jimmy rose from his seat and approached the woman. "Can I get you a drink of water?" He avoided the eye of the girl sitting primly beside her.
"Why, that's awfully decent of you, young man."
Jimmy retraced his steps back to where he remembered the water cooler to be. By the time he returned with a white paper cup, the other old man and boy had gone. Jimmy handed the drink to the woman and somberly returned to his seat. The afternoon sun was starting to draw lengthening shadows by the time it was all over. The doors slid open and the figure of the boy stood for a moment in the coolness at the threshold. He made his way a little shakily to where the car waited. The door of the car opened as he approached, and he got into one of the front passenger seats. The dash politely indicated that he state his destination as the door closed and the hot, dusty air purged within the cabin. The dust smell soon vanished, but a tang of sweat remained. "Take me home." An address on Princeton Drive flashed up on the dashboard.
"Damn, no, cancel. Take me to 4420 Westway."
He'd forgotten that the voice recognition would still register this body as his grandson. He needed to sleep, perhaps a short doze on the way home, but at least he didn't need to spend a week in the clinic like the last time, 70 years ago. Perhaps, he mused, when he was 260, he could even make the transfer in the comfort of his own home. But that was a long way off. He had another new lifetime ahead of him, a new wife to find and kids to raise, to provide him with a spare.